I used to think I had that. In the last couple months, it catches up to me really quick. And it's been making my life a little more difficult. It's been so exhausting.
It sucks. Yeah, as you get older, it's harder.
It really does.
It does. So you got to remember, I'm 8 years older than you. 7.5. So.
I know. You poor old bastard.
I'm like, fuck, dude. It's like, I got 2 nights in a row where I got about 5 hours of sleep, and I'm like, this is not. But I got to get it done.
I remember when I was younger, I'd be like, dude, when I'm 40, no big deal. I'll be able to do whatever I need to do still.
Yeah.
And then I have like one all-nighter, and the next day I'm like a zombie, and I'm like, well, I'll get a couple hours of sleep and go back at it. That couple hours instantly is 9 hours, and nothing I can do about it. I'm basically a dead man in my bed.
It's true.
I need at least 4 hours a night, or I'm screwed.
Yeah, I have to get that thing done today. I've got a couple of things in the way. I've got Bodie's thing this morning, and then Dax has a performance this evening. So somehow in between, I've got to get this thing wrapped up for you. But I'm about halfway done.
Cool.
It's gonna be good. It's very
I'm both eager to start on it and terrified to start on it at the same time.
I know, and I'm keenly aware of how much time you need, and
I did pull scenes like before I worked on the commercial yesterday. I took all the scenes that I created for the Wonka bar and I organized them.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, you'll need. If you want, you can also dip into the script.
Oh yeah,
and
that's right.
There's a lot you can just go grab. So, and there's a lot of one-off stuff in there. So, all right, let's get this road on the show. I'm going to find out if I can get it demonetized in the first 15 seconds.
I don't know how, but we already have a stream here. And it's not from last time. I reset it.
There's no money already in the house.
We don't sleep to dream, we sleep to build stamina. Energy to do our thing, get your camera. This show is about to begin, so sit down and buckle it in. Let's go!
Oh, yeah, baby. It's Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You know what time it is. My name is Brian, that is Shane, and this is the Unleashed Show, and I want to start off this party with a wholehearted thank you to No Money G for $10. He says, have fun, guys. I'm heading out now, and I'll probably miss the most of the show. Well, no Money G, I appreciate the support. Hope you can catch the replay, my dude.
Yeah, man, appreciate you just popping in here to drop us some cash. He knows that we're trying to keep the ball rolling here, and he's obviously one of our great supporters. So thank you so much, brother. Have a great day.
Yeah. So what we're talking about today is some good stuff. We're talking about Back to the Future 4.
Wait a second, that wasn't on the thumb. What are you talking about?
No, it's not on the thumb, and for good reason. We're also talking about Dune Part 2.
We're talking about Dune Part 2 first, that's for sure.
I just wanted to really front load. It's called front loading. I actually learned that term today. Front loading, when it comes to like psychology, is when you start with something that seems hyper salacious to get them prepared for it. But then you go into something completely different, but you hold their attention.
Oh, I see. That's called gaslighting, I think.
We're also talking about Dune Part 2. I just saw the new trailer that dropped this morning or last night or whatever.
It was yesterday.
Whenever it was. Looks boring as shit, so good times.
Oh, we're going to have fun talking about that one.
Yeah. Also, Deadpool 3 leaks and what Ryan Reynolds did to combat such leaks was actually hilarious. Like, hilarious. As well as the weekly news and James Gunn, if we have time, James Gunn defends the Nicholas Hoult casting, and also interesting enough, Zack Snyder was doing an interview with someone, and he was like, you know what? I want to keep doing Superman movies. And then the Netflix CEO chimed in, which I thought was sort of funny. Okay. That's what we're talking about.
All right. Well, that's great. I'm glad. Brian, so sometimes we take turns picking the news or we'll share it, we'll each pick stuff. But this time I had absolutely nothing to do with it. Like yesterday, I'm like, dude, I am so deep into this script. I just can't get news. You'll have to rock it. So I'm excited to not have a clue.
I gotta say, you're a lucky bastard because there was seemingly no news yesterday.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I'll just go through the Google News and try to. It is tough sometimes.
Let me tell you something. If Dune 2 is on the trailer, I was struggling to find something that was important enough to chat about, other than just us chatting.
It's actually a perfect thing to chat about because our friend Robert Meyer Burnett has an interesting thought on it, and then I look at based on what you think about it, and it's like this interesting dichotomy. And there's some things in the trailer that are hilarious, and there's some comparisons to this in the real world that are crazy. Okay. So I can't talk about it, but first I got to just comment here on Archmage Frey's comment. I like Shane's stealth Dolphins hat. It has to be a stealth Dolphins hat, Archmage, because they had such a shitty loss this last Monday night that I kind of don't want people to know I'm wearing a Dolphins hat right now, but yet it's stealthy, so it's good.
I feel sorry for Shane because I remember before that game he was like, Dolphins doing really great right now. I'm excited to see the game.
My wife said I was behind on my work, right? And I'm trying to get this script done, and I'm like, I don't really care. I don't care if the world burns. I will watch that game.
Yeah.
And
poor bastard.
I'm suffering as a result. So
also, yes, rest in peace, Captain Holtz.
Oh yeah, I saw that last night. What a bummer, man. He such a great actor. He I saw him when he was first in Glory back in the day, and he played kind of the educated upper class black guy who decided to join the Civil War Union Army, where essentially there was an extension of being treated basically like slaves. Really fantastic role. He played in that with Denzel Washington and Morgan Freeman and Matthew Broderick. What a great movie.
Yeah, I was introduced to him with Brooklyn Nine-Nine. His real name is Andre Brayer. I don't know what is. It's hard to say. I'm bad with names, but I gotta say, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is by far one of my all-time, hands down, all-time favorite comedy television shows. It hit every single mark. It was funny, but not over the top. The characters were all super charming, but individually and then on their own, they were just. It was just a really great show, and there's a reason why. That when it got canceled because the network it was on couldn't afford it, Fox literally just picked it up, or NBC or whatever. That's
whoever does it.
It's a very rare thing when a network when shows cross networks. It's rare. That means that show is so valuable to someone on the other network that they're willing to take a chance when another network decided to cancel it.
Well, it's rare that another network knows the value of something. Right. More than the people who are actually producing it.
Yeah, it's funny because after that when we thought it was the last season, people were tweeting out the actors, bummer, it's the last season, we were just canceled, and it was within hours, NBC picked it up. The second they heard it was canceled, it wasn't even officially canceled yet. It was the actors were just tweeting it. So, he was an amazing character. He played the first gay captain in the NYPD. A perfect example, by the way, of how you can have an LGBT character where his entire personality is not his sexuality. That is a part of his backstory because he had to push through the ranks as a black gay man to get to be the captain of a precinct. And that was his struggle, but it wasn't what defined him. In fact, he made sure that it wasn't what defined him. What defined him was his accomplishments, not his sexuality. And I thought that was really great. And, man, he's going to be missed. And you know what? I'm sorry, but 61 is not that old, dude.
No, it's too young. It's too young nowadays. And it's really a shame. Did they say what he passed away from?
Yeah, it's I was reading about yesterday. I don't want to get into the conspiracy theory, but like,
it shouldn't be a conspiracy.
well, because it sort of is. It wasn't like he jumped in front of a train, or
he's not a controversial figure.
He didn't die in like a jacuzzi.
I mean, is it just having a heart attack like not okay anymore?
No, I mean, I'm not saying it's not okay, but he was up until recently, he was a very healthy, relatively young. 61 is not that old anymore. Man, and it's sort of he says he acted on Monday after a brief illness. So he had a brief illness and then died. That's
no
crazy.
Further details given. Well, listen, I've known, people who are runners who die, unexpectedly. It can happen to anybody, man.
Yeah.
And whether sometimes being healthy, it's better to be healthy. Your odds are, if you're healthy, you're going to live longer, but it's no guarantee. So, there are quite a few things that plague, a lot of when you get older and you're a black male. There are a lot of things that can get you over and above, some of the other races, I think.
Yeah, there's some like diseases that are genetic, right? Like,
yeah, they got sickle cell anemia,
right.
And there's a lot of jaundice and different things that occur in that community. And so you got to be. I think if you're a black man and you're older, you got to be extra healthy. And I'm not saying that Andre wasn't, but also who knows? I mean, you could have a blockage and you're just going about your day. Maybe you got, genetic weird cholesterol. There's all kinds of weird stuff.
That's true. Well, either way, he will be very missed. I really liked him. And then I was just recently watching his new show on Netflix, and I was like, damn, I like this guy. And then, bummer. Hey, we got a members chat from Goran. I'm saying it wrong. Yoran Valve. Thank you. Yoran Valve. What's this? Another sub to the Popcast brothers? Should I unsub? Let's chat and decide. So he became a member of this channel too, it looks like.
Thank you, Yoran. Yeah, we appreciate it because our numbers are still going down. What kind of message does it send when every week when you check in and you figure out like what's your sub situation going and you keep seeing a negative number? At what point do you start to take this personal? So yeah, if you're watching and you haven't subbed to our channel, do us a favor and sub just so we can try to get back to the positive.
Yeah, I took it personal the first time I saw that negative number. I was like, come on, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, it happens. I mean, after the demonetization, you don't know how much of it's like YouTube's algorithm being a prick, and but now it's all us. There's no excuse. It's like it must be us. All right, so we're going to talk Dune today, yeah?
Yes, we are going to talk about Dune.
Also known as the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Because if you watch, and listen, I know the story of Dune, obviously. Brian doesn't. So I know the story of Dune. And I got to tell you, if you just, take a look at it from that aspect, it seems awfully familiar as the Fremen are trying to get rid of the people who have shown up and decided they're going to take over their area. So it's more complicated than that. But I think that the Palestinians could be playing this in homes across their region.
Yeah, to make it worse, not only am I not excited for this movie, I'm actually dreading it.
Whoa, really?
I'm dreading it. I'm dreading all the people talking about how great it is. Well, I'm like the one guy that's like, this sucks. Like just like last time.
You have to ask yourself a question. If you're the only one that has a different opinion.
Oh, I'm not the only one. I'm just saying I'm saying I'm in the minority.
Yes.
I've seen bad reviews for the first Dune movie, and
you're like in the minorities, like who's those people that lose body parts? Lepers. You're like in the leper, like you're so far, like you're literally losing fingers and arms. And
stuff. You had to go to like a biblical reference to get this joke out. Like it's too
There's
hard.
an island in Hawaii that's like just for lepers, or used to be anyways.
Listen, like I still believe all my criticisms of that movie were 100% valid. It's not. I don't have like some bias or whatever against Denis Villeneuve, whatever his name is. Fucking fart sniffer, looking at his own scenes, jerking off in the corner about how great it looks.
Oh, hold on to the jerking off thing. That definitely applies here today.
Or Timothy Chalamet, who has zero charisma. All right, zero. I just watched him in Wonka, and this dude who's playing a character who is the definition of
I'm going to see it
charisma.
tomorrow. Don't ruin it for me.
I won't, but we're talking about Friday. But he's a definite, like the character of Willy Wonka is supposed to be the definition of charisma, and you can tell Timothy Chalamet really trying to muster that up, but you don't buy it for a second with this guy. It's like I don't know, he just sucks. Anyways,
Thanks, man.
and then I'm watching the trailer. I'm like, this trailer looks super bad and boring. And then I find a Collider or a CBR article where they talk about the runtime. They say, "Hey, Dune Part 2 gets a new trailer and a record-breaking runtime is revealed." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" So it's a 3-hour movie with Timothy Chalamet.
Did it break? What did it?
No, it's not. This is a really bad headline. Look, this is a bad headline because it's not a record-breaking runtime, unless you're referring to a Denis movie.
Oh, it's breaking his record.
Yes,
okay.
But this headline is very misleading, dude, as usual.
IMDb. Oh, it's only 2 hours and 46 minutes. I mean, I'm not saying only in the effect of like, well, it's a short movie, but it is only 2 hours and 46 minutes.
Yeah.
So what was the first Dune movie?
So I'm looking at this movie and I'm like, oh, it's part 2. They're already talking about part 3. Like they've already got this in the bag already. And, you know, it's going to be nearly 3 hours with Timothy Chalamet and Zendaya, whatever. And I'm just like, I just don't, I care a negative amount about this. And I know that we're going to have to talk about it for like a week straight when it comes out because
this movie is over 5 hours long. Totally, like combined.
You know, and he was there was another article where he was talking about part 3. Can there even be a part 3?
I mean, you could go into the lore. Yeah, you could. You could go into. I mean, you got to understand the Dune universe is huge. Like it's really would be a fantastic thing to explore in a lot bigger way. And of course, you know, Herbert only wrote so many novels. There's quite a few novels actually to explore. So yeah, you could do more.
They should have done this as a mini series, a Game of Thrones sci-fi style.
Do that anymore, bro.
I mean, they should have.
It's also called a TV show now. Now it's called a TV show. Like a mini series is now just a TV show, a shorter TV show. They don't actually do mini series anymore. Like, and if they were going to do this, the problem is that you're going to have a hard time finding somebody a streamer who's willing to go into it as much as they're going to spend on it. So it really needs to be some sort of huge box office. Now, the good news is there's tons of Dune fans out there from over the years that love Dune. And if I'm being fair, and unfortunately, Brian has a bit of, you do have blinders on because all you know of Dune realistically is the first half of the movie. Fair? That's all you know of Dune.
No, I read the book.
No, you didn't. When did you read the book?
Yes, I recently. I read the book like right after that movie came out.
Really?
I
gotta know when you.
I didn't read it. I listened to it, but same shit. I listened to the audiobook. And
the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I might have missed a few parts when I got a call or if I stopped to do something, but it was a good story. I gotta be honest. Even the audio,
you can't listen to a story and work.
Even the
so
audio,
if you're doing
even the audio book was a little drawn out, but I understood it a lot more than I understood half the shit that went on in the part 1 of that.
Well, if you're a fan of Dune and you read the novels and you saw the first Dune movie, which did not have any spectacular, graphics, really, the graphics were not great. It was mostly, people talking in rooms. To have this epic put on the screen in front of you, and there's a moment in this trailer, I would argue that this trailer gives away too much. It might be because I already know the story, but this trailer actually tells the whole second half of the movie story, which I hate. That's why I hate trailers. But there's a scene when the Fremen are riding the worms, and that's like an epic part of the book. Like that's like they finally, harnessed, the power of their environment to be able to overthrow their invaders. So it's a huge moment, and I understand why Rob was absolutely losing his shit on Twitter. I mean, it's hilarious. I mean, he got me to watch. I don't like watching extra trailers. Like, I knew the trailer came out, and I'm like, screw it, I'm not watching it. And then all of a sudden, he's like, oh my God, this is like the greatest thing that has ever happened, right? And I'm like, oh my God, like, he's really all in on this Dune 3 trailer. And then he posted a video, and I'm like, oh, he actually posted the trailer. I guess I'll watch it. I click on it. It's an SNL skit of your boy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, right?
Andy Samberg.
And Andy Samberg doing his whatever, jizz on your face. That song. That's
Right.
in, it's really totally inappropriate.
In my pants.
In my pants, or whatever it is, yeah. And so that was, so Rob was that excited about it. So then I went and watched the trailer, and I went, oh, okay, well, it was what I expected. So, but if you're like a longtime hardcore Dune fan, that scene alone with the worms is going to do a lot. But I think this trailer is filled with too much freaking romance. And if you can queue up, Brian, at 46 seconds of the trailer, I know you have the trailer in front of you. If you can queue up at 46 seconds, I would like to show you the women's lib wet dream in this short few seconds.
Okay.
The women's lib, I guess lib, is that an old term? The feminist wet dream is right here in these words.
Okay. You guys ready?
Yeah.
46 seconds. Here we go.
Well, I'd very much like to be equal to you.
Maybe I'll show you the way.
Did it happen?
Yes.
Oh, here it is. Yeah.
I dislike these people so much.
wait. Can we share the words here? I'd very much like to be equal to you. Maybe I'll show you the way.
Maybe. Maybe
No, that's not what.
Maybe I'll allow you to be equal to me.
Taking that completely out of context. Okay. Like, there's more going on with this thing. He obviously comes into a role where he has to earn, when he becomes into the Fremen culture. I won't give away too many spoilers if you haven't read the books, but when he comes into the Fremen culture, he has to prove himself. He has to earn his way. It might have something to do with that. And, but it is like, you could meme the shit out of that. And I think it would, yeah.
I gotta say, like both of these people, to me, and I'll just show you guys. You can chat and tell me this, all right? Tell me right now. All right, I'm gonna replay this scene, and you tell me these people aren't high as F right now, like stoned out of their minds, right?
Well, Spice is mind.
Look at this guy. He is stoned out of his mind.
Equal to you.
And then there's Zendaya, also stoned out of her mind. And I'm not sure what was the deal with all the Zendaya stands. She's not attractive, and everyone acts like she's like this gorgeous creature, and she's not.
It's not their fault. They are literally on a planet where they mine drugs.
These actors look this way all the time, bro.
It's not drugs. It's fueled. It fuels their armada.
It's
their
so weird. Like,
exploration.
people are like, Zendaya is so great. She's not a great actress. She's not.
Yeah.
In my opinion, subjectively, she's not attractive. And like,
I'll tell you why she's popular. You want to hear it?
Why?
The reason she's popular is because she is the epitome of what Hollywood wants in an actress right now. She is a woman of color, but she's more of a mix, right? So it's a palatable woman of color who is in romantic relationships with all of these guys, and so she just pops into that culture thing. But the problem is she's not talented. If you look at her in Spider-Man, she wasn't impressive.
No, she's not.
Right? I don't know how she's earned one name, but you're right.
Yeah. How does she earn the right to have one name? Just, anyways. So going through this trailer, and I'm gonna mute it, but we got a whole lot of romance, some cool CGI. But you know what this is doing? The same exact thing, and I love this scene so much, because as I'm watching the trailer, I'm thinking, damn, this looks just like the first one. It lacks color, it's slow, it's dull, and then you get to this scene where like literally everything is just like black and white.
Well, that's their style that they've given to these characters. And here's the thing is, look out, because I'm telling you right now, Austin Butler might be stealing something in the second part of this movie. I'll be very curious to see. This guy's the guy who played Elvis in the biopic. There's some badassery going on here, bro.
Yeah.
You know, the Harkonnen actually in the book, they don't look like this. They have red hair. So
you know how Hollywood is. You're not allowed to have red hair in Hollywood.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
You're not allowed
that is hilarious.
You are not allowed. The gingers are not allowed in Hollywood.
Now I want to ask Denis Villeneuve why he went with this style. Now this does look more alien. I will say it looks more alien. I would say it looks more unsettling than if they had red hair, right?
Right.
Looks creepy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It just lacks all color to me. It just feels so bland. The visuals are cool, but they're also very slow. Like the visuals are, for some reason, there's like everything looks like it's in like not quite slow motion, but like 70% slow motion, and it just feels lifeless. The whole thing feels lifeless, just like Timothée Chalamet's lifeless, stoned eyes. Just like there's nothing there. And you know what? I hope I'm wrong. I hope I watch this movie and I'm like, yo, Timothy still sucks, but the movie was cool. But I don't think I will be. I think I'm going to be that one guy on the hill again being like, hey guys, what's up with the 7-minute scene of him looking at the clouds or something crazy? And everyone's like, well, yeah. And whenever I bring these criticisms up, people go, oh yeah, that was a little drawn out. Oh yeah, it was a little bland. Oh yeah, it didn't have any...
It's me. I'm the one agreeing with you.
No, I've had these exact same conversations on Salty Nerd Show. And the thing is, everyone agrees that those are valid criticisms, but they still think the movie's awesome. And I'm like, all right.
That's what happens when you've never had anything before. I mean, honestly, like when you had a movie that's a cult classic in the original Dune movie. But the problem is now all of these visuals from the novel are actually taking place. And for a lot of people, it's like when I watch Lord of the Rings, you don't like the extended cut.
No, it's too long.
Of Lord of the Rings. But I love it because I'm the one who spent hours and hours and hours reading novels. You don't think I can spend an extra 30 minutes watching some graphics that remind me of the shit I read in a book? I mean, that's
a cool thing to say, but I also read all the novels twice.
Yeah.
I love the Lord of the Rings novels. I actually love The Hobbit. One of my favorite books growing up. And
so you can't handle an extra 20 minutes of visuals?
I hated
after spending days reading a book?
No, it was because the extended cut, it didn't add anything to it. It just made it longer.
I don't know. I disagree. I felt like you're in, and this is the thing that I would say for Dune fans. You're in the universe longer. You're experiencing that thing you've always wanted to experience longer. And to someone who doesn't have who isn't as invested in it as say someone else, it doesn't mean as much, and I would argue that, like, for me and you, I think Lord of the Rings means a lot more to me than it probably does to you, even though you enjoyed it and liked it. Sure. It was like part of my life growing up. Like that's something that was super important to me.
Sure. And I started off with fantasy, and then by the time I was in my late teens, I had moved almost exclusively to science fiction.
To sci-fi, yeah. Which is cool. And I just happened to live in fantasy, for me, which was great because regular life wasn't that fun. So, and so I think the Dune people are kind of experiencing that same thing here. Like this is their moment. This is the Dune moment. Like in this lifetime, there's not going to be, it's not going to be done better in this lifetime. Like this is it, right? Maybe when you're an old man, they'll come out with the Dune again, but this is it. And just like Lord of the Rings, they're not going to redo Lord of the Rings. We're going to get the writers of the Rohirrim or something like that. It's not going to be better than the Lord of the Rings.
No, yeah. In like, if this is actually a success as everyone's predicting, then in like 15 years there'll be like a prequel to Dune.
But there could be.
Yeah, it'll be like some kind of Rings of Power thing or House of the Dragon. Like it's going to do that. Like they're not gonna continue with the story because no one in Hollywood has the intestinal fortitude, the testicles, to actually continue a cult classic to any degree. So, but they do want that sweet cult classic money. So they don't have the balls to go forward, but they go, you know what? We do want those fans to watch. So let's go backwards. Yeah, Star Wars did.
Star Wars is going forward.
But you know what
They're
they did
doing
first?
another Rey movie.
You know what they did first?
What?
The three
The
prequels.
Well, that was George. That wasn't Hollywood. That
That's
was
true.
George.
That's
He
true.
wanted to tell. And honestly, I wanted to see that story. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how much you don't like the prequels. I wanted to see that story, and I'm glad we have it.
Listen, after watching Return of the Jedi, the prequels are fucking masterpieces.
Oh, you mean the Skywalker, the 7, 8, and 9? You're not talking about Return of the Jedi.
I mean, no, I said, is that what I said? Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not Return of the Jedi. Yeah.
The Last Jedi.
Whatever, Last Jedi. Yeah, the thing is, I actually liked 7 because I thought, well, I could see what they can do with this.
Yeah. 7 was okay.
There was inspiration. You can do some cool stuff with this. Like they're honoring the fans. We're gonna see Luke, whatever.
No, 8's when you throw the table over and you fucking destroy the house.
Right.
8's when you go full like orangutan on everybody.
8 completely infuriated me, and 9 is basically where they just lost me.
Like I got angry and went to Brian's house because I didn't want to get in trouble at my house.
I don't want to deal with this. He's like, in my house breaking shit. I'm like, can you stop, bro? Can you stop?
It's just a movie. You shut your mouth right now. It's not just a movie.
Dude, I remember being in the theater and like, remember that scene where Luke finally gets the lightsaber that Rey went through all this trouble to get to him? That's so important.
I remember.
And he threw it over the shoulder. Dude, the whole theater. Like,
freaked. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny.
Mine did too. It wasn't just yours. It was mine too.
I feel like the writer or Johnson, whoever decided that scene, they probably thought, oh, that's gonna be this really funny moment where everyone's like, ah. They did not expect people to be like, burn it down.
Well, that's why you don't hire a guy who doesn't understand Star Wars.
Right.
When the entire theater goes, like what the entire theater went, like when that happened, not everybody. So it's like you're the guy who doesn't understand what's going on here, and you're in charge of the movie. It's frightening.
I remember we talked about that. I remember that being in the theater and everyone was like shocked. But then it was like this one random guy in the top right, and I think he was a black dude because like his accent, he was like, "What the fuck?"
Well, yeah, there were probably some of those too. But.
Oh man, I don't know. This Dune thing. Go watch the trailer, guys. Let us know what you guys think. It doesn't look good to me. Looks like what we got before. But you know what? If you liked what we got before, you're probably gonna love the trailer. So for me, I'm looking at something that looks, once again, like everything, all the footage looks like it's been slowed down a little bit. Not slow motion, but like 75% of the speed it should be for some reason. And everyone's movements are fluid because they're moving slower, it feels like. And Zendaya and Timothée Chalamet, whatever, they suck. So.
I mean, there is an element of romance in the novel, but it's just a small element. And this trailer, like every other word is them professing their love for each other, and it's like, how much fucking pandering do we really need? I know. I mean, I know you want girls to go see this movie for the love of Jesus Christ. You just stop it already. Okay. Go, please let it be a movie that's actually about, about an uprising and people taking back their planet. Please don't make it about a love story. Okay. I'm just saying a little bit. That's it.
Listen, if you guys liked it, that's great. I'm not going to take that away from anyone. I've always said the same thing. I'm never going to be mad to like disagree with someone's, subjective opinion of something. Sure. And actually I like it. I love it when other people like things, whether I like them or not. But my criticisms are still valid.
True.
And you can still like it regardless of those criticisms, but they're valid. So, if you like it, great. I fully expect this movie to do well. I don't expect it to make any money though.
We'll see.
Because you know what the first movie had going for it, bro?
What?
It was free. Or not free, but it was a max subscription.
I think you're probably, I mean, I think anybody who loves Dune will go see this movie, and I think that's a big audience. So
we'll see. We'll see when numbers start coming out.
It's not going to fail. That's for sure. It may not make a ton of money, but it's not going to fail. Sure.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
So, and I apologize to do this to you guys, but I actually have to go. My son, I just found out, is having a last minute special performance, and I cannot miss it because all I do is pretty much work all the time. So unfortunately, I have to let Brian take over here, but I want to tell you guys that I love you. And I will be back on Friday with Brian to review Wonka. So Brian's already seen it, and we're going to talk about that.
You're going to miss the Back to the Future 4 trailer. That's all I'm saying.
There's no Back to the Future 4 trailer. But listen, love you guys, and I'll see you guys later, okay?
All right, bye, guys. Yeah, Shane is leaving me here all by my lonesome, so you better keep me company in the chat. Let me move my thing over here. Oh, that's the wrong one. Whatever. This is the one we're using. All right, so check it out. This is the Back to the Future 4 trailer, in quotations. There was actually an article that came out on Yahoo where they're like, Back to the Future 4? And I'll show you it. Is the new trailer real or fake? Is Tom Holland in it? And I was like, how is this on like a reputable news source? It makes no sense. And so I figured, we'll talk about it. Let me get the chats up here too. Oh, we got a super chat from Chappie too. All right. Here we go. Chats are up. Let me read your super chat when it loads. This is from Chappie for $20. Thank you, Chappie, my man. He says, well, I had a banger of a super chat in mind, but my phone won't let me. So by the time I got to my computer, I forgot. So here you go. Just type. When you remember it, just type it in the regular chat. Yeah, post it when you remember it. Thank you, Chappie. Thank you for the support, my dude. All right, let's watch this Back to the Future 4 trailer. Here we go.
Great Scott! This isn't over, Marty. There's one more adventure waiting for us.
If time travel were possible, what would you do? What would you change? What if not only the past changes, but also the future?
We're the same age. That's impossible.
It's so cool here.
Time is our ally, Doc, but also our enemy. We must make the right choice.
I have to save you, Dad.
Yesterday would have been a good time to start.
Whoa, this is heavy. Oh, God. There's flying cars here. I knew it.
Time travel. Great Scott.
All right, so that's a pretty good trailer, except for it's totally fake. It's actually produced by this YouTube channel. If you guys want to go sub to them, it's pretty good. KH Studio. It's already got 2.3 million views, so it's getting some traction, man. And according to the article, this is from like an actual reputable news source that reported on this. So someone watched this trailer and it looked cool, but I immediately knew it was a fan trailer when you saw like Tom Holland's face on Michael J. Fox's body. And the footage from Ready Player One, like that, I like that movie. It's like I recognize the DeLorean footage like immediately. But all in all, it's a pretty good fan trailer. It really is. This is what the article had to say about it. After the new Back to the Future trailer featuring Tom Holland and Michael J. Fox hit the web, fans were scratching their heads and are anxious to know if it's real or it's another fake trailer made with AI or a mashup of clips from other movies. Here's what we know. The new Back to the Future 4 trailer is fake. And I don't even need to read anymore. Like, that's it. It's fake. But people were like sharing it, like, yeah, I'm so ready. This looks great. Like, how do you guys not know this is totally fake? I don't. A random YouTube channel just randomly just drops the trailer. No announcement. No nothing. Just, yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's fake. Looks really cool. But I really wanted to play that because I did enjoy the trailer. I watched it like 3 times. Even though I knew it was fake, it still looked cool. I mean, look really cool, actually. All right, let's move on from that. That was a quick little pop in. I want to see if you remember that yet. Did you see my super chat? I actually missed it. Thank you for reminding me. Michael Nemo. Thank you, sir. Michael Nemo for $5. Thank you, Michael Nemo. I really appreciate it. Not a fan of the new Dune because I adore the 1984 version. The 3-hour Spice Diver YouTube cut is awesome. This Dune is an epic beige snore fest to me. Yeah, I didn't watch the original. No, I think I did actually. Patrick Stewart's in it, right? I believe. I think I did watch the original, but I probably was really young when I watched it, and so I'm not like a super Dune fan, and I wasn't a Dune fan when Part 1 came out, and maybe that's why I didn't enjoy it the way everyone else enjoyed it, but still, it was, like you said, it was beige, it was boring. There's entire scenes, like, I'm not sure if you remember this, but there's a scene where, like, the ships are taking off and Timothée Chalamet is, like, standing in the sand and, like, the camera pans from the ships down to, like, low, so where it gets, like, this up shot of him looking at the ships, and it's like a 5-minute scene of nothing. And I get it, it looks pretty, but it's 5 minutes where the story progresses in no way. And that's like, that scene just summed up the entire movie for me. And it didn't work for me. That's it. But if someone else likes it, that's great. Yeah, I'm sorry, but is Patrick Stewart in the 84 version? If that's the case, then I did see it. Captain Picard. All right, we're moving on. So this is going to be a fun one. Let's talk about these Deadpool leaks. So Deadpool 3 is right around the corner. Or, I don't know if it's right around the corner. It's next year sometime. Yeah, it's right around the corner. July 26, 2024 is when we get Deadpool 3, which is sort of shocking because I thought they were just able to go back to work. So I guess they're sticking with that release date even though they weren't able to work for like almost 8 months. That's cool. So some leaks came out though, right? And this is what and the leaks were showing, like, it showed Sabretooth, and I'm not even sure if I can show them, but I'll show you what his response. I'm coughing so much. So it showed it, like, in the movie we're gonna get obviously Wolverine, and I think the Sabretooth is back. I'm not sure if it's the original actor, but in the leaks, someone took shots of them, like, holding Sabretooth's severed head. And some other cool cameos. I'm sure you can find it online. But Ryan Reynolds, being the king of marketing, was trying to stem the leaks. Trying to shore up the leaks of his ship because he wants people to be surprised about Deadpool 3. So he doesn't want everyone to know who's going to be in it, what the plot is, of course, right? So this is what he had to say about it. This is Ryan Reynolds. He said, Deadpool began with a leak, which is true. So I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but the reason we got a Deadpool movie was because someone, referring to Ryan Reynolds, he leaked the original, like, concept trailer, that shot where he's, like, drawing on something and then he jumps into a car and kicks a bunch of bad guys' butts. That was leaked on, like, Vimeo. And then it was shared like crazy, and the studio saw people, that they wanted it really bad. And the reason they got a Deadpool was because I'm assuming he alludes to him being the one, leaked the original trailer. The original scene. And that's how they were able to actually get the movie made, was because people loved it so much. But this is what he wrote. Deadpool began with a leak, so I'm joining in, but please don't overuse... Yeah, my throat's messed up. Please don't overuse the phrase Deadpool leaks, because it might screw up search results. If anyone is searching for Deadpool leaks, Deadpool spoilers, or perhaps Deadpool scoops, hashtag Deadpool leaks, spoilers, scoops, And he shows a leak of it's him. He has his mask off, so they're just sitting around. It looks like he almost looks sort of like Chris Hemsworth or whatever. And then you have like Wolverine, Hugh Jackman Wolverine, and there's a predator. There's a random predator standing. It's clearly photoshopped. It's the Predator. Hey guys, the Predator is in the Deadpool movie. And here's some more leaks. Hashtag Deadpool leaks. He's holding a bag of money. Mickey Mouse is also in the movie. Here's one. I'm not even sure what's going on here. There's a lot going on in this image. These are basically just a bunch of photoshopped leaked images. Wally, lower the cue cards. Urkel, Steve Urkel's in Deadpool. I'm not sure if you see that. That is Steve Urkel. Now, the reason why he did this, you guys, he did this because people were going crazy about the Deadpool leaks and sharing them, and he is trying to, Ashton Kutcher's in it, he's trying to game the system. So, instead of freaking out and having everything take down and doing all what studios normally do, he used his considerable reach to take over those keywords. Deadpool leaks, Deadpool spoilers, Deadpool scoops. And then he posted over and over again on Instagram, Twitter, wherever. And he flooded the market with fake leaks, fake images. So when people search for it, and you can look, it took me a while, you are not going to find the actual leaks before you find the fake ones. And so people are going to see fake ones and they're probably getting turned off. And this is how he's protecting his plot, which I think is pretty rad. That is the right way to do it. Like, tongue in cheek, have fun with the audience, and just sort of, completely take over the system for those keywords, without getting mad at your audience or having the studio hit copyright claims on everyone's Twitter posts and Facebook posts and YouTube posts or whatever. That's a cool way of doing it, man. Really cool. And you know what? Frankly speaking, I would love to see Mickey Mouse in Deadpool 3. Because if Mickey is in Deadpool 3, you know for a fact that Deadpool is going to kill that dude. And I just want to see a severed Mickey Mouse. I don't know. It's pretty cool. We got a super chat. Oh, no, not super chat. We got a chat here. That's very interesting. McFarlane Toys and Hasbro to partner up. The deal will not include Star Wars or Marvel, but will definitely include the Power Rangers. Yeah, I read about that. And they're going to stop making Star Trek toys. So they're not making Star Trek toys, Star Wars toys, Marvel toys. That is how you can tell when franchises are on their way out, is when like their long-time partnerships are just dissolving because it's not worth the investment, either the investment to make the items or maybe just the license itself. Like they don't want to renew their license on something that's constantly costing them money. It's fascinating stuff. Yeah. Archmage, you're right. Yeah, the Scooper website came out and apologized for spoiling the movie. Yeah, it's great. Like, Ryan Reynolds knows how to deal with fans. He knows how to deal with the audience in a way that is endearing, and just generally fun. Like, when he first came out with that first trailer, where it was just him and Hugh Jackman announcing that Wolverine was going to be in the movie. And then they're talking, remember they go, well, how are you going to bring him back? Well, I had this idea. And then the music goes up really loud and he's like talking and they're talking about this idea for like a couple minutes. It was just a brilliant way it's a brilliant marketing, man. And that trailer got like millions and millions of views. And he actually encouraged people to repost it. I took that video and reposted it on our Marvel channel. Got like 100,000 views. on a channel with like a couple hundred subscribers. It's crazy. Crazy. All right, next up here. All right, let's talk about this. This is good. Let's talk about Zack Snyder and the DCU. And then we'll segue that into James Gunn, I think. And then the Weekly Weird. All right, so Zack Snyder was on I don't know what it was called. He was doing an interview with a website called Cultura, some Spanish website. I can't pronounce it. But in that interview, which I will try to find here. Yeah, I'll find it first before I show you. I think it's in a Twitter. Oh yeah, here it is. So in this interview, he's talking to Cultura, I can't say the name, a Spanish website. That's why it's in Spanish, but he speaks English. And this is what the guy said.
I know you said that you wouldn't be back except for The Dark Knight Returns, but I don't know if Netflix finally has it and you could hypothetically continue. Would you be open to it?
If Netflix had owned the rights to the DC characters in my extended universe, of course I would absolutely whatever. Yeah, no question.
Fans will be very happy.
Yeah.
I will be very happy. And about superhero movies, I have to agree because you are one of the biggest figures in the industry. Do you feel that these movies are losing popularity? Because I think that, and why?
Real quick, let me break in here. Does Zach look bored as hell to you, or what? Like, just listen to his response.
I think that, and why?
He's uncomfortable.
Precisely why?
Look at this.
Superhero movies.
First off, he starts off the interview.
I know you said that you wouldn't be back except for.
He literally is yawning.
But I don't know.
He's so tired of talking about superhero crap.
Hypothetically continue, would you be open to it?
If Netflix had owned the rights to the.
And while he's talking, watch his face looking at the camera.
Superhero movies, I have to agree because you are one of the biggest figures in the industry.
Talking about superheroes again.
Do you feel that
he's trying to keep his eyes open. He's so tired. He's so tired.
Why? Precisely why? Why do you
Well,
think it's happening?
I mean, we've been watching superhero movies every weekend for 15 years or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So it's not outrageous that there is that the graph is gonna fluctuate, Yeah, and so I just think that I don't think by any means that I don't think the superhero movie is completely like done. I think that, but I do feel like there's an onus on the filmmakers and on the people who are the guardians of this.
Yeah, and he goes on to talk about how they might not be done, but people need to step up their game, basically. So, what's interesting is, so he says basically that if Netflix got the rights to hit the characters that he was working with in his DC version, his DCEU, that he would absolutely finish his movies, right? And what's interesting about this is the Netflix CEO commented on this and said that they love working with Zach and they would love to get the license for those characters. In fact, with their recent acquisition of those movies, that if Warner Brothers was open to them to licensing that particular brand of DC to them, they would love to. And they're in the Zack Snyder business, and they would totally make that happen. So the thing is, and I'm paraphrasing, but I don't know if restore the Snyderverse is really like a fantasy anymore, because a year ago when we talked about it, we said there's no way Max is going to give Netflix the DCU. Well, maybe not the current DCU proper, but they just sold Netflix the license rights to all the previous DCU movies. You know, Man of Steel, all of them. Even Peacemaker, which is a James Gunn show. So if they're willing to let them, you know, to take those products off of Max, give them to Netflix for a fee, don't you think that there might be some room there for Netflix to be like, hey, keep doing your thing with DCU, but like, can you give us Zack Snyder's version of these characters? Can we license specifically that variant? It wouldn't be the first time a version of a character was licensed out. And I gotta say, it's actually a possibility. It's a possibility that they might license the Snyderverse to Netflix, man. And if that happens, Zack Snyder is a Netflix employee, basically. They love the guy. They love his work. I'm pretty sure he has. I'm not sure of this for certain, but if I had to bet on it, I would say he had like an actual contract with Netflix to do a certain amount of movies already in place. And I can totally see that happening. Like, I can actually see a path forward for Zack Snyder to actually finish his series, you know? Now, could they actually get the actors back? And like, let's say they actually did get the license rights to the Snyder version of DC. If they did, then that's the first step. That's the biggest step, but it's the first step. They also have to get the actors back. They got to get Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa. And let's say Jason Momoa is still working for James Gunn DC. So do you not get to have Aquaman in this version of it because it would conflict? Could you get those actors back? Now, Ben Affleck said he was never going to play Batman again. But then when Zack got the chance to do the Snyder Cut, he was able to convince Ben Affleck to come and reshoot a bunch of crap. In fact, after his time with the Snyder Cut, he was doing guest shoots on Aquaman. And even with the Flash, which means that like his opinion of the franchise was at the very least being repaired by the new administration, because they gave Zack his director's cut, and they probably, you know, clearly they weren't as bad as the old administration. But then when they gave James Gunn the seat, it took a turn for the worse. James Gunn cut his scenes out of The Flash. He cut his scenes out of Aquaman. They changed the script to be like a completely different character. From what I've read, I haven't seen the movie. So it looks like he's probably over getting jerked around. And I'm sure Henry Cavill is 100% over getting jerked around. But would they be over it if Zack Snyder came to them and said, look, I'm making the Netflix version of this movie. Can you come back? They love Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder's their guy. I mean, it's a possibility, man. It's a possibility. And I would not, no longer am I going to put that into the impossible realm. It is definitely a possibility that the Snyderverse can actually go to Netflix and Zack can convince these actors to come back and finish his run. And if that's the case, that's awesome. That's rad. I would love to see Justice League 2. Like the Snyder Cut version, not the original Justice League. Love to. So hopefully we get something. You know, I wouldn't have a problem, by the way, with two DCs. Like you have the Netflix version of DC and you have the Max version of DC. You got James Gunn and Zack Snyder. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I mean, if you remember during Marvel's when Marvel was King of the Hill, Netflix had their own Marvel characters. They had like the Netflix version of Marvel. Like it was like Daredevil and Iron Fist and whatever the other characters were. But street level Marvel. So, and it was connected to the Marvel universe in some way, even though I guess we did get a connection when they finally put him in that Spider-Man movie. They put Daredevil in the last Spider-Man film. But I mean, that was a Sony thing, so I'm not sure. All I know is that I don't see why that, both things can exist at the same time, and I do believe both can be successful if they're both good. But does Max have the foresight for that, or would they be too afraid of messing up what they're doing with James Gunn and making the, muddying the waters for normies? Because most normies don't follow the news. They're gonna look at Ben Affleck and they're gonna be like, that's Batman. Then they're gonna look at the new Batman. They're gonna be like, where's Ben Affleck? So I'm sure there's a lot of discussions about that going on. So if they're actually considering it, then there is, it's warranted that normies might not get it. But then again, if it's only coming on Netflix and not in theaters, that's different. Like, it's not that different, but it is different because like a theatrical release is different than a Netflix release for a lot of people. So we'll see. That would be cool though. But what do you guys think? Would that be rad or what? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, we're going to do Weekly Weird, and then we're going to pop into the members section because I want to chat with you guys. All right, Weekly Weird is great this week. We're not going to do the 3 Weekly Weird because Shane usually does that for me. But I will let you guys... I'll read the headlines for what we're going to do on Friday. And here's I'll just read one of the headlines. Here's the first headline. My bad, hold up. You know what's funny is I've been doing this show for a long time at this exact time without fail. And my wife always calls me at this time. It's so weird. I got distracted. What was I talking about? Oh, Weekly Weird. Okay. All right. I'm actually torn on which one I want to do. But I think I'm gonna do the cat one. Okay. Here we go.
Get ready, you fucking weirdos.
All right. So the headline today. Man, I sort of want to do. I think I want to do the drunk tourist. I'm not going to do the cat one. I'm going to say that because I think Shane would like that. Because I don't think he's a fan of cats. And someone just said, my vote is the one with sex. So we're going to do the one with sex. Chappie wants the one with sex. So here we go. We're doing the Weekly Weird, the one with sex. Drunk tourist sexually molests manatee statue at Florida restaurant after being asked to leave. So, if this isn't one of the most Florida headlines I've ever read in my life, Florida is a wild state. Like, for real, some of the craziest people that exist in the United States live in the state of Florida. And I don't know if it's because it's a large population. There's a lot of different demographics. You have people that live out in the sticks. You have people that live in the city. You have a really predominant Puerto Rican, Cuban population. And then you also have like a lot of older people. And you have younger people going there for spring break. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe it's because you have so many different types of people living in a large state. But Florida is where the funniest stories come from Florida. In fact, one reason why I'm okay with GTA taking place in Vice City again, instead of in a new place like Vegas, what I wanted, was because you couldn't do. When the original Vice City came out, you could not do then what you can do now. And Florida has so much inspiration to pull from. In fact, if you didn't know, the GTA trailer, every scene from that trailer was pulled directly, except for the ones with the main characters, was pulled directly from actual real things that happened in Florida, which is wild. So, here we go. Florida's back. So this guy sexually molests, and first I didn't read statue as like he sexually molests a manatee, which is like, if you sexually molest a manatee, you have to be drunk out of your mind, but also you got balls of steel, man. Those things are huge. So he sexually molests a manatee statue at a Florida restaurant after being asked to leave. Here's the article. Look at this poor bastard. He is immortalized forever on the internet as the guy who had sex with a manatee statue. I feel that is the look of a man who he has now sobered up, and he's like, what the F did I do? Oh man, I'm sorry, buddy. All right, this is what it says. A tourist found, and because he live in Florida, he's a tourist in Florida acting crazy. Even the tourists in Florida are nuts. A tourist found himself behind bars after he drunkenly threw gator nuggets into a restaurant. It's so dumb. After he drunkenly threw gator nugget. What is a gator nugget? Is that like a chicken nugget? I gotta look it up now. Never heard of a gator nugget. It is. It's a chicken nugget made out of alligator. What the hell? That's a thing. Yeah, it's alligator meat made into nuggets. And it's an actual dish. No problem. Okay. So, after he drunkenly threw gator nuggets into a restaurant and sexually molested a manatee statue when staff asked him to leave. This poor guy. Anthony Lessa, 23, was arrested and charged with disorderly intoxication after the incident that took place at two separate places in St. Pete Beach on Friday. Two different places. Postcard Inn on the beach and Rick's Reef Restaurant. When the staff confronted Lessa, he became belligerent and sexually molested a manatee statue in the presence of staff and other patrons. There's the statue. Look. Oh, can we get close to it? Oh, maybe I can get closer to it. How do I get a picture of that statue? I want to see that statue up close. Let's see if we can get closer to the statue. Nah, I'm zoomed all the way in. Maybe I can get a better angle. Click over here. No. Oh, wait. Maybe I can get an angle here. There it is. There's the manatee. There's the manatee. There's the manatee statue. All right. So, he goes on to say, when staff confronted Lessa, he became belligerent and sexually molested the manatee. Lessa then ran off the property and down the Gulf Boulevard toward his hotel. The hotel manager called authorities after Lessa was acting disorderly near the front desk. He was yelling and screaming obscenities at the front desk worker, according to the affidavit. Lessa was then trespassed from the property, but he stayed in the parking lot lingering and yelling more obscenities. This caused a backup in traffic and the disturbing of the peace of several other guests waiting for rides. Oh, here we go. He was reportedly in a heightened state with a short-term memory implication. For example, Lessa continued to ask deputies why he was being arrested on a loop. He was... Okay. Florida, man, you're wild. You're crazy, man. Look at these other articles. Look at these. These are other headlines from Florida. Ready? Florida man racks up $4,000 on company car with 74 unauthorized gas station trips in a month. Florida man gets agitated by neighborhood company Christmas parade, fires off several gunshots. Florida man set shoe on a fire to stay warm, drunkenly passes out in front of the office building, a police building. I wonder if you can just like type in Florida man. Like that's gotta be a thing, right? Just Florida man articles. This might be my own. I might have to change the name of Weekly Weird to the Weekly Florida. Here we go. Florida man arrested after using elderly neighbor's doorbell camera to harass them after 2005 fight. Florida man admits to killing ex-wife, her new husband 1 week after she was remarried. Jesus. Florida man wins $1 million top prize after a public stop. I think it's like a gas station. Florida man dies after being ejected from golf cart. I'm not laughing at his death. I'm laughing at how he died. It's crazy. Yeah, that's Weekly Weird. It's Florida all day, every day. Is it weird that I want to try these gator nuggets though? I sort of do. They look sort of good. I don't think I've ever even had reptile meat. I wonder if it just tastes like gamey chicken. I bet you it does. All right, guys, that's it for the show. We are going to the members section. So if you are not a member yet, do me a solid, do Shane a solid. Hit that join button below and become a member. If you are already a member, that's cool. We're going to the members section right now, and it's going to pop up in a couple minutes. So hopefully you can join us. And I'm just going to, nothing special in the members section. We're just going to chat. So hopefully there's enough people over there to chat with. So come on down and, we got to declare the winner. You're right. Thank you for reminding me. The winner is, hold up. The winner is, it's Chappie. Chappie's the winner. Good job, Chappie. Message me on Discord, my friend, and we'll make sure you get your mystery box. I mean, it's not really a mystery. It's a bunch of cool t-shirts and some nerd stuff. But it will be in your size, and you'll get it in the mail. Hey, guys, listen. Come on in the member section. It's a good time. Hit that join button. Join us. There's 2 different places you can be. If you go to the description, you'll see we have Unleashed members and Prime members. And if you're a member of either one, both will be running. And I will put up both. I'll put up both chats. And let's go. You don't know how to get into Discord. Okay. If you're not on Discord, all you gotta do is click on the link to our Discord, like in the description, like literally click the link. It'll automatically put you in our Discord. And at some point, it'll probably ask you to create an account. But if you don't want to do that, then email us, thepopcast@gmail.com, DAPOPCAST@gmail.com. Either way, we'll get you squared away. All right, guys, we're going to the member section. I hope you can join us. And I'm gonna end with this on the way out. Nope, that did not work. Not at all. Wow, that button just didn't do anything. Look at that.
So, until we are dick up and flat broke, this is your life.
That was the wrong one. I'm gonna do one more. Here we go.
These things are ruining my childhood.